One is Nick Ron.
Welcome back, and what a night. No arrests since the main programme, not even a definite breakthrough yet, but a wealth of information on almost every crime we've covered. First, though, perhaps the most disappointing response tonight, let's look at the madcap robbery in Wolverhampton a month ago, where gunmen ran amok in a quick save store, terrifying shoppers and staff.
Marie! Open the door!
As I say, a rather disappointing response so far. I've had about 30 calls, but most have been rather non-specific about white cars without rear bumpers, which is the sort of vehicle used in the getaway. But we may now have links to other crimes, and we do have 2 names and addresses. Jeremy.
Remember the con man who was taking money from the gentleman with Alzheimer's? Well, we found another victim. We've had 4 people ring up with the same family name, and we've had 5 people ring up to say where he lives. Excellent results. On the robberies in the estate agents, we've had 10 calls, 3 or 4 names put forward, and a couple of those come from the northeast of England. Now, on the London riots, it's very exciting. We've had 30 calls, and we've had 15 good suggestions put forward as to who these faces might be. That looks very promising.
2 years ago, Ricky Reel went out drinking with friends in Kingston in Surrey and was later found drowned in the River Thames. Was he pushed, or was he drunk, and did he just fall? DCI Sue Hill has been trying to find out. And you had some video that you found on CCTV cameras after a couple of years. We never thought that you'd find anybody from them. Very hazy images, 2 years out of date. You think you might have done?
Well, we've had a number of calls, but 2 particularly good calls, and certainly from one individual who believes that he recognises himself from the CCTV footage, which we're going to follow up, and another good call that we're going to pursue.
Are you able to tell us about the other one?
Not at this stage, Nick.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Sue, thank you. Jackie.
As usual, a lot of information on our video items. Firstly, the London Underground stabbing. One name has been suggested for the main attacker, which fits in with information already known to the investigators, and they're really excited about one name that's come up twice for one of his friends. So that looks good. And the Norwich video robbery, one name has come up who's known to police in the Norwich area, and I'm sure he'll be getting a visit very soon. And the travel-in burglary, a caller from South Yorkshire has given lots of background information about one of the burglars and is confident they can identify him, so all the information is very positive so far.
Only 27 calls on the next case. Mark you, 1 call would do on this. It was a frantic assassination that happened in Sutton in South London early in July. The victim was Mohammed Raja. Chris, how do these calls split up? You were trying to find a very distinctive van that was used as the getaway.
Yes, indeed. Can I just say that the 27 calls were received at the incident room tonight.
Oh,
Here
right.
at Crimewatch, we have received 50 calls.
So you had, oh, actually, that's quite a big response.
So we've had a very, very good response this evening. A lot of sightings about the vans, the van. A lot of people who knew Mr. Raja have phoned up to say that they were his ex-tenants. A very good bit of information there. And a number of people have rung up saying that they have information around the identity of the people in the photo fits. So overall, very, very good response.
On the photo fits, on the actual suspects, have you got any names, any addresses?
1 or 2 people have been named, but obviously we need to follow this up probably later on tonight and tomorrow.
Thank you very much indeed. Jeremy.
Remember our search for Raymond Price? We've had over 200 calls between the studio and the incident room. Very promising indeed. Lots of other people have been conned by him, and interestingly, he also uses the name Alan Davis. We had a recent sighting of him also in London. Now, I think that was yesterday. Now, most exciting, the petrol station robbers. We've had a key witness come forward who actually witnessed the robbery. They hadn't come forward before, and they've seen some very interesting part of it. Good information. We're going to get a result on that soon.
Good. Now the vehicle hijacks back in August, one a van carrying reclaimed silver ingots, the other a curtain-sided trailer carrying half-built laptop computers.
You cooperate, nothing will happen. Give me the keys to the lorry. Get in.
You had quite a good response on this, Phil, haven't you?
We have indeed, yes.
And now some of it you're not going to tell me about, I know.
No, but I can reveal we've had a large number of interesting calls. Some have put forward offenders' names, which we'll be following up. We've had calls from dealers up and down the country asking for the model numbers of the laptop computers, so I'd like to give those out if I can.
Please do.
Yeah, they are P5077LBS, P5072 LBS and P6385 LBS, and they're all compact computers.
Yeah, compact computers, laptop computers without a keyboard.
Minus a
That's
keyboard.
what have you got on the silver ingots and the tiny bit of gold that was stolen in the first raid?
Unfortunately, there's been little information come forward on that. Just like to remind people there's also a £5,000 reward on offer for that offence. So if people have got information as to who's handled it, or if they can put names to the faces, please ring them.
Well, I know call's still coming on it.
That's correct, yes.
Jackie.
Well, we know the names of these next two faces, but where are they? Firstly, Christopher Pepper. Lots of calls, including one very exciting piece of information about where he's been living very recently. And next to George Houlihan, 25 callers have rung in, and one sighting yesterday in an area which is being checked out. So keep calling if you know where either of these two men are.
Well, now the murder of Linda Bryant. It was about a year ago, in October last year, in St Mawes in Cornwall. She'd taken her dog for a walk. She was stabbed to death. Chris Borland has been reappealing after a Crimewatch viewer spotted a white van in the area at the time. And I think other people have now come forward and said they also saw a white van. You also had an e-fit or an artist's impression of the driver. What sort, I mean, the phones have just been ringing like crazy on this case. What sort of response have you had?
Well, Nick, we've had over 200 calls between here and the incident room in Cornwall, which is unprecedented, and obviously I'm very grateful. Now, they really talk about people who they've named, people who fit the artist's impression, and people who've got white vans. So there's a lot of work for us to do. But all I need out of all those calls is just one to be the right one, and it would have been worthwhile.
You're obviously going to have a lot of checking now to do. For people who didn't see the main programme, this is such an important issue. Just explain this white van, how much you know about it.
It's a white van, it's a white Maestro, Escort or Bedford, we believe, that's seen in the area at the time. It's described as scruffy, perhaps a builder's van, together with a consistent sighting of a man with a straggly brown beard streaked with grey. There are a number of sightings of it, and again, the response we've had tonight has been excellent.
And the forensic profile you've had of the murderer, not necessarily the man in the van, of course, who might eliminate himself, might come forward tonight, but the forensic profile says this is like to be a loner, someone who expresses a real distaste, a dislike for women, but won't look like a madman, and won't look like an obvious killer.
Absolutely right. So the problem is that people think they're looking for a murderer. This person is in society, he is someone's son, he's somebody's workmate, he's someone's neighbour, and that's what I'd like people to bear in mind.
All right, Chris, thank you very much indeed. If you have any information on this or any of your other cases, please call us. The numbers are on CFAX on page 621. You can email us at crimewatchuk@the BBC. And on any case, you can call Crime Stoppers. And you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously if you want on 0800 555 111. Our lines are still open for half an hour, so you can still be calling here if you like, 0500 600 600. If you've been a victim and would like to talk to someone at Victim Support Line, there'll be people there for at least 2.5 hours yet. The number there is 0845 30 30 900. 0845 30 30 900. Please do join us next month, Tuesday, November the 16th. And whatever happens, don't have nightmares, do sleep well. Good night.